Good morning, James. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Now, I know you have Black Funders of St. Louis, but let's talk about your main thing. What is it, the main thing that you do?
Sure. So, my full time employment as an entrepreneur is through my coaching and consulting firm, which is MWR, Coaching and Consulting. And our space is really around the elevation and transformation of Black people specifically, but not exclusively. And so, we do this through helping organizations identify capacity building needs. As well as community engagement, so centering the voice of residents and stakeholders. In addition, diversity, equity, and inclusion, training, facilitation, curriculum design, as well as cannabis education and advocacy. So making sure that we're constantly advocating for Black and Brown ownership in the space, whether it's plant touching opportunities or ancillary services, but just making sure that Black and Brown people have ownership in this space while we're advocating for individuals who are still behind bars for charges that in this case should be non-existent, given that the industry has become more legal in states, including Missouri. So just advocating for expungement of records as well.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting because I think about that, and I think about the ecosystems out there. So, are you planning to build a Black entrepreneurship ecosystem to go along with this?
Um, ecosystem is really key. However, I think that we have some strong partners that in the region who are doing some awesome work around the ecosystem in terms of bringing together for-profit and nonprofit. And the one that comes to mind, Brand St. Louis. The work that Philip and Chevelle are doing to create an ecosystem so that the work is more coordinated, as well as the impact for our region.
Okay, now here's where I want to talk to you about Black Funders of St. Louis. Tell us about Black Funders of St. Louis. What is Black Funders?
Sure. So, Black Funders of St. Louis, we are a giving circle. We are collectively pooling our resources, which is our time, our talent, and our monies to invest into Black led nonprofits organizations in St. Louis, Missouri. So, we are really focused on the elevation and transformation and well being of Black communities here in St. Louis. And so, our membership is made up of Black individuals who are collectively, as I mentioned earlier, pooling resources to then make decisions on where our funds will go to support Black-led nonprofit organizations. And so we define Black-led as the president, the CEO, executive director identifies as Black, and their mission aligns with Black Funders of St. Louis, which again, the elevation, transformation, and well-being of Black people here in St. Louis.
So, for Black Funders of St. Louis, how would someone get in touch with Black Funders of St. Louis if either want to donate or they're looking for a donation?
Sure. So, just to give a little more clarification around that, membership is $300, and membership is open to individuals and/or couples who self-identify as Black and reside in the St. Louis area. And the reason for this is that it's important that Black people are making decisions for Black people. Outside of membership, if you do not meet the membership qualifications, anyone can be an ally, anyone can be a supporter, anyone can give. But in terms of making decisions, in terms of how we allocate our funds, that is for the membership. But anyone is welcome to give to the Giving Circle. No amount is too small. If you can follow us on social media, Black Funders, that's with the STL. Our website is www.blackfundersstl.com. We're on Instagram as well as Facebook, as I mentioned earlier, Black Funders STL.
Well, for your other organization where you actually do the consulting, how do people get in touch with you on that one?
Sure. If individuals are interested in learning more about MWR coaching and consulting, they can always reach out. My website is www.mwrconsultingservices.com, or they can reach me by email. That's Maranda, Maranda, at mwrconsultingservices.com.
Miranda Richardson, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. I have one more question for you. Uh, what is your secret to success? What is your philosophy for your mission?
That's a great question. So for me, I lead with purpose. So alignment, purpose, and vision is what guides the work that I do. I'm very passionate about the elevation and transformation of Black people. And so that's my center point for how I decide whether or not to engage in work. And so, again, that alignment, that purpose, and that vision really are at the core for how I move forward with both MWR coaching and consulting as well as Black Funders of St. Louis.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Definitely a mouthful. Miranda, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time.